If I could give you one gift today, it would be the ability to see your life the way you'll see it when you're 70. The arguments you're having now, the worries that keep you awake at night, the things you think you must achieve to feel worthy, they will all look so different in the rearview mirror. You will see that most of what you're chasing right now doesn't actually matter. Not the way you think it does. Hello and welcome. If you're new here, I invite you to subscribe to this channel where we share real wisdom from lives well lived. If you find even a moment of comfort or clarity today, subscribing will make sure you don't miss more reflections like this. I want to take you back through a journey, one that took me 70 years to travel. I spent decades chasing things that I thought would bring me happiness. Promotions, possessions, applause, admiration. I thought if I could just be good enough, successful enough, admired enough, I would finally feel at peace. I was wrong. When you reach 70, you realize that peace never came from what you could earn or accumulate. It came from the quiet moments when you weren't even trying. It came from the days you spent laughing with someone you love. It came from the nights you listened instead of talked. It came from the times you forgave when you could have stayed angry. I see now that we waste so much life chasing approval, when all along, the only approval we really needed was our own. I miss too many moments trying to impress people whose opinions I don't even remember now. I miss too many sunsets thinking about tomorrow's problems. I miss too many hugs because I thought I was too busy. At 70, the things that matter are crystal clear. Your health, your relationships, the way you made people feel, the nights you slept peacefully because you lived honestly, the mornings you woke up with purpose, not pressure. I remember working late into the night when my children were small, thinking I was doing it for them. I thought if I worked harder, I could give them a better life. But what they really needed was me. My time, my presence, my laughter, my hugs, my listening ear when they told me stories that didn't seem important then but were everything to them. Looking back, I realize no amount of money, no level of success, can buy back the minutes you traded away. The moments you miss are gone forever. And what you're left with are memories. Make sure you're making the right ones. I also understand now that kindness matters far more than being right. I spent too much time trying to win arguments, trying to prove my point, trying to be heard. At 70, I value silence more than shouting. I value understanding more than being understood. I value peace over pride. Time humbles you. It softens you. It teaches you that people remember how you made them feel far more than anything you said or did. They remember if you made them feel seen. They remember if you made them feel small. And in the end, the legacy you leave isn't about achievements. It's about hearts you touched. So if you're younger than 70 and you're listening, let me offer you this. Slow down. Pay attention. Love deeper. Forgive faster. Laugh louder. And live today the way you'll wish you had when you're my age. Because what really matters isn't out there waiting for you to achieve it. It's right here. It's already inside you. And you're running past it every day without realizing it. Take it from someone who knows. At 70, it's not what you own, how much you earn, or who admires you that matters. It's how deeply you loved, how honestly you lived, and how gently you touched the lives around you. That's what really matters. There's something strange that happens when you grow older. You begin to see the invisible threads that were tying your life together all along. The small moments that seemed ordinary at the time become the ones that shine the brightest in your memory. It's never the promotions or the trophies that flood your heart with warmth. It's the simple things. The things you thought were just background noise. And you realize they were the whole symphony. When I was younger, I thought life was about reaching the next big milestone. Get the degree. Get the job. Get the house. Get the promotion. Always reaching, always striving. I thought that's what life was supposed to be. A series of steps leading to some grand destination. But the truth is, there is no grand destination. Life isn't a mountain you climb once and stand proudly at the top. Life is the climb itself, the moments of laughter, the tears wiped away by a loving hand, the quiet nights spent watching the stars. At 70, I understand that success is not a place you arrive. It's a feeling you nurture along the way. It's the peace you feel knowing you lived true to yourself. It's the joy you find in simple pleasures. It's the love you give freely without keeping score. I spent too many years measuring my life with the wrong yardsticks. I thought how busy I was made me important. I thought being needed made me valuable. I thought being admired meant I was worthy. But real worth isn't something anyone else can give you. It's something you discover inside yourself when you stop trying to prove anything. The people who loved me didn't love me for my successes. They loved me for my laughter. They loved me for the way I showed up when it mattered. They loved me for the small ways I made them feel less alone. And I love them for the same reasons. We spend too much of our lives worrying about things that will not matter even 5 years from now, let alone 50. Gossip, grudges, comparisons, petty arguments, they all fade away. What remains is love. What remains is kindness. What remains is the courage to keep opening your heart even after it's been broken. I have learned that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Carrying anger, resentment, or regret weighs your spirit down in ways you cannot see until you finally let it go. When you forgive, not just others, but yourself, you free yourself to live fully again. Looking back, I don't regret the mistakes I made nearly as much as I regret the times I was too afraid to try. The times I let fear silence my dreams. The times I chose safety over passion. Life rewards the brave, not because they always win, but because they dare to live with an open heart. If you're listening to this today, I hope you know, you don't have to wait until 70 to understand what really matters. You can choose today to cherish the people in your life. You can choose today to slow down and savor the small moments. You can choose today to forgive, to let go, to live lightly. Because the truth is, one day you'll look back, and the things you worried about, the things that kept you from sleeping, the things you thought you needed to be happy, they won't even cross your mind. What you'll remember is the love you gave, the lives you touched, and the memories you made along the way. That's what really matters. There's a quiet wisdom that comes with living long enough to see the patterns. You begin to notice that the seasons of life pass faster than you ever imagined. The joys, the heartaches, the victories, the losses, they all swirl together like leaves in a strong wind. And suddenly, you understand that clinging too tightly to anything only causes pain. The real secret to happiness is learning how to hold life gently. When I was younger, I wanted to control everything. I thought if I planned carefully enough, if I worked hard enough, I could shape life to match the picture in my head. But life doesn't follow our blueprints. It has its own wild, beautiful, and unpredictable course. And the more you fight it, the more you miss its real beauty. At 70, I finally understand that flexibility is a greater strength than force. That acceptance brings more peace than resistance ever could. Life is not about getting everything you want. It's about loving what you have while you have it, and trusting that even when things fall apart, something new can be built in their place. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is that loss is not the end of love. People leave. Circumstances change. But the love you gave and received stays with you. It weaves itself into the fabric of who you are. It strengthens you. It softens you. It teaches you that the heart was made not just to beat, but to break and heal over and over again. Regret is a heavy burden to carry into old age. If you are younger than me and you are listening today, please hear me. Say what you need to say while you still can. Apologize when you're wrong. Forgive even when it's hard. Reach out even if pride is whispering to stay silent. Pride won't comfort you when you're alone. Love will. It's easy to believe that you'll have time to make things right later. But later is never promised. Time is a thief that steals quietly. One day you wake up and realize the opportunity you thought you could chase tomorrow has already disappeared into yesterday. The people who matter most to you need to hear it now. They need to know they are loved now. They need your presence now. It's not about grand gestures. It's about showing up. It's about small kindnesses repeated daily. It's about choosing connection over convenience. I spent too long putting off conversations, putting off dreams, putting off forgiveness, waiting for a perfect moment that never came. I know now that the perfect moment is always today. This hour. This breath. I also understand that peace doesn't come from having a life free of storms. Peace comes from building a life strong enough to withstand them. You will lose things. You will lose people. You will lose dreams. But you will find new strength inside yourself that you didn't know was there. In the end, it's not the storms that define you. It's how you choose to keep walking through them. How you choose to keep loving through them. How you choose to keep hoping, even when the road ahead is covered in fog. Life is a breathtaking, heartbreaking, awe-inspiring journey. And it's gone in the blink of an eye. Love as much as you can. Laugh as often as you can. Forgive as quickly as you can. Be brave enough to start over as many times as it takes. Because at 70, I can tell you this with certainty. What really matters is not how few times you fell, but how many times you stood up. Not how perfect you were, but how much love you poured into an imperfect life. That's what really matters. When you reach 70, something inside you shifts. You stop measuring your life by how much you've accomplished and start measuring it by how deeply you've experienced it. You realize the most valuable things you ever had were never things at all. They were moments, smiles, conversations, sunrises, handwritten notes, hugs so tight they stitched your soul back together. I spent too many years thinking happiness was somewhere just beyond my reach. One more goal achieved, one more problem solved, one more year endured, and then surely I would be happy. But happiness is never there waiting at the finish line. It's right here, hiding inside the small ordinary moments we overlook. It's the cup of coffee shared with a friend. It's the long, slow walk with someone you love. It's the feeling of grass beneath your bare feet on a warm day. It's the sound of laughter around a dinner table. At 70, I no longer chase happiness. I welcome it when it comes, and I create space for it when it's missing. I understand now that joy is not something you find. It's something you notice, something you choose. I also see clearly now that comparison is a thief of peace. For too long, I compared my journey to everyone else's highlight reel. I thought I was behind, that I wasn't doing enough, being enough, achieving enough. But the truth is, no two lives are meant to look the same. Your path is yours alone, and it is sacred just as it is. The happiest people I know are not the ones with the fewest scars. They are the ones who have learned to dance with their scars. They are the ones who have embraced their brokenness and chosen to keep loving anyway. They are the ones who stopped trying to prove anything and started living from a place of gratitude. Gratitude changes everything. It turns what you have into enough. It transforms ordinary days into treasures. It makes you realize that even in the hardest seasons, there is still beauty to be found if you're willing to see it. Looking back, my greatest treasures were never the promotions, the awards, or the recognition. My greatest treasures were the people who stood beside me when life was hard. The ones who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. The ones who loved me not for what I could give them, but simply for who I was. As you live your life, don't wait to appreciate what you have until it's gone. Tell the people you love that you love them, again and again. Thank the people who helped you. Forgive the ones who hurt you. Let go of the grudges that weigh you down. Life is far too short and far too precious to waste even a day on bitterness. At 70, the horizon looks different. You realize you're closer to the end than the beginning. But instead of fear, there's a deep sense of peace. A gratitude for having lived, for having loved, for having mattered to someone. If I could leave you with one thought, it's this: live now. Love now. Forgive now. Don't wait. Don't postpone your joy until everything is perfect. The messy, imperfect, unpredictable life you have right now is the real gift. And when you reach your 70th year, may you look back not with regret, but with a heart full of gratitude. May you know that you loved deeply, lived honestly, and mattered greatly. Because in the end, that's what really matters. As we come to the end of this time together, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for sitting with me through these reflections, for opening your heart to the lessons life has carved into my soul. It's a rare thing these days to pause, to listen, to share the deep, quiet truths we so often rush past. And it means more to me than words can say that you chose to spend these precious moments here. I hope you felt seen. I hope you felt understood. And most of all, I hope you felt less alone. Because that's what this space is for. A place where wisdom isn't locked away behind perfect images or hollow words, but offered from one heart to another, real, raw, and human. If these words touched something in you today, if you found comfort or courage, or simply a moment of peace in the storm, I would love for you to stay connected. I would be honored if you subscribed to this channel, so we can continue this journey together. There are so few places left in this world where honesty is honored, where aging is celebrated, and where the deeper parts of life are cherished rather than ignored. This channel is one of those rare places. And it's growing into a community of souls who still believe in the power of kindness, reflection, and the beauty of living a life that matters. By subscribing, you're not just clicking a button. You're choosing to be part of something meaningful. You're choosing to fill your days with more wisdom, more heart, and more reminders of what really matters. Every story I share here, every lesson, every reflection, is given with the hope that it will make your journey a little lighter, a little clearer, a little richer. I have lived long enough to know that we are all just walking each other home. And if my words can be even the smallest light on your path, then every moment of this has been worth it. So if you're willing, if you're ready, I invite you to subscribe and join this community of kindred spirits. There is so much more to share. More stories, more lessons, more reminders that life, even with all its aches and imperfections, is breathtakingly beautiful when we walk it together. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for bringing your heart. And thank you in advance for being part of this growing circle of wisdom and light. Until we meet again, take good care of your soul. Cherish the ones you love. And never forget, what really matters is not how fast you go, but how deeply you live. I'll see you in the next video.